Hi everybody, this is Joseph Sharon, and I'm back again with another series review. I just recently watched Willow, first season, and I'd done quite a bit of reading on the subject and noted that it was supposed to be broken into 3 distinct chapters or books. Because each episode that is revealed to us opens very much like a storybook, or it is a storybook. And I love how that's done because it evokes that whole nostalgia and how Disney used to tell their stories through the opening of the storybook, and how Shrek took that and turned it on its ear. And I love that. But there were a few things I just did not like about this series, including the ending. And this is going to be spoiler heavy. So if you don't want to know what happens in the Willow series, you can click off. But I love Willow. Willow is one of my favorite movies of all time. And Val Kilmer didn't seem like he was interested in returning as Mad Mardigan. And to me, Mad Mardigan, other than, of course, Warwick, Willow himself, whom the movie is titled after, made the movie. He's a secondary character, but nonetheless, he has a pivotal role. The absence is definitely felt, but I do love Kit because Kit is in every sense Mad Mardigan's daughter, and she goes through her own development, and she learns who she really is, as the other characters do too. But when Allagash does all that pandering in one episode, just saying everything that happens as it happens, narrating it. Yeah, narration is a good thing, but when it's not really condescending, but one of the trolls actually did a fourth wall break and talking to another one of the trolls in that episode and saying, yeah, explain it to me like I'm an imbecile. And I thought, yeah. Yep, you just definitely hit the nail on the head, my friend. And then I thought to myself, how can this show's writing suffer so much late in season 1, mind you, and not even hold a candle to the writing that's in Vox Machina? That's what I was curious about. It did not make any sense to me, because Vox Machina is a show that is definitely not for kids and is a little bit more profane in the language that it uses sometimes. I mean, to a point, and sometimes it doesn't need to. Honestly, just, I'm not a prude, but I'm just saying there's certain situations where swearing really shouldn't be used. But I mean, obviously it's a show intended for an adult audience, but this had, well, the swearing really didn't bother me all that much. Sometimes it does, because I think it's kind of superfluous, but in some of the situations, yeah, I can understand why. But I love the fact that we get some new characters. I like the new characters. But one of my new favorite characters, they did something to that I was a little bit irritated about. And I think you know of whom I speak. So, last episode that they had, and we're probably never going to see another glimpse of this series ever again, because I'm ambivalent. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I've seen better. Vox Machina is far superior, and that's saying something, and that makes me sad as a Willow fan. So, a lot of things I enjoyed, a lot of things I didn't like, the pandering being one of them. That was cringeworthy, and it made me literally hate Allagash for just and I thought, you're trying to be funny, it's not working. And then all of a sudden Elora Danan's character becomes very dark, for lack of better terminology. She becomes kind of sinister. And I mean, it was, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but she just became very tacit, and she become, well, I guess maybe she's an adolescent, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. But she started to get under my skin a little bit, and I just didn't care for her near the end, although she redeems herself. But she really started to agitate me quite a bit. I liked that the mud kipper thing, or whatever it was, the underwater creature. I thought that was interesting, because I don't think they had that in the movie, and I thought, oh, that's an interesting creature addition. I'd love to know more about, you know, where they come from. And Borman admitted to a little bit of, maybe just a tiny bit of their origin. And he said, well, what do? They eat, they sleep, they mate. I'm like, yeah, like anything else, you know, to continue the species. And he has to rest like the rest of us. And I thought, makes sense. But I liked the addition of that, and seeing Graydon have his ability to commune with animals. And I thought, why couldn't they have explored that a little bit more? Because I would have loved to have seen that. Because we see Disney princesses doing that a lot, but why not the Disney prince? That would be interesting. I know a lot of people are like, what? That's never been done, has it? No, it hasn't. Make it so. Yeah, I think that would be a nice little twist on certain story tropes. But as far as the series is concerned, I have a love-hate relationship with it. I heard it is canceled. I don't know if it's because of the whole lesbian relationship thing. I honestly didn't think that was bad. I think that it was represented well. They didn't focus so heavily on that. They didn't push it, which I'm glad. They did it more like the Owl House did, which this is something they did right. So kudos to them, and not trying to force feed it down our throats. I hold nothing against a lesbian relationship if it's depicted in the right way. If it's good representation. Although I do have to say, and here I go again, Vox Machina did a better job, and so did the Owl House. Beyond that, it just made me angry. Let me just put it that way. It just made me angry. Especially the end. They have to go back. I thought, why? Why are you going back? What purpose you're right there. You can go into Wormverse and do what you must. And I mean, I'm gonna be writing that myself. My version is that Laura has a vision where at first she felt that Graydon was dead. Well, they all saw him disappear, and that was for lack of better information. I mean, how else are you supposed to believe? What else are you supposed to believe? And she has a vision, and she sees him rising to power under influence of the worm herself, because the crone is dead. So we still have the worm, the worm in her power. Because of course it's the power of 3 that goes into effect here. So that's the last power of 3. But I'm curious to take that story and see where it goes, because I have plans for that story, and I think that's the only version we're going to see or even read about, and this is how I would have ended it. But that's just me. She would have purged him. She thought she purged him before. So in my version, she will completely dispel all evil from him and return him to the side of good, because personally I think Graydon is a good character. I don't think he's evil. I honestly don't. I can't believe that. I think that he just fell under the influence of the worm. But other than that, yeah, the series, it could have been done so much better than what it was, to be honest. And that whole Wildwood episode, that was all drug trip. Just take that as you will. Yes, we had some good exposition with Jade and learning that she was a bone reaver, and I think a little bit more exploration needs to be done with that. But I mean, there are a lot of questions that were just left unanswered and will remain unanswered. But at least in the realm of fan fiction, some of us can help as best we can, because that's all we're gonna get, people. So that's about all I gotta say about Willow the series. So until next time, live on prosper. Ciao, Titi.